In fact, we are on the long stretch of the road of the Obadeshide Road in Akure, and this area, people call it the GRA. In security, things are very calm here. You could see in the background people going about their daily businesses just as normal. In fact, yesterday when we were coming into town, we saw some military men that are being deployed into other parts of the state. But in Akure, as we talk right now, normal daily activities are ongoing. As of yesterday, when some of our men, when we went to town, especially in the preparations of INEC for the election, there were training of observers. Several observers, election observers, have been trained, and they're gearing up. They are preparing for this election. We spoke with a few of them. Take a listen. We get to that tracks as soon as we can get it sorted here. But what is on ground here at Chamberlain, and what we can see here is that people are just moving about their daily businesses just as normal. But mind you, just at midnight, campaigns and every kind of promos or jingles from the political parties are over. And what we are seeing, or what is going to be happening today, is that INEC is going to be preparing people materials, some non-sensitive materials, as we gather, are going to be moved into some other parts of the city. But right now, if those tracks are ready, just take a listen and hear from the observer, the election observers that have been trained for this particular election.
And adequately.
All right, now those are the election observers preparing for the D-Day. The 0 hour as the clock ticks is moving closer and closer, and everybody is looking forward to that very hour. The city, as I said earlier on, is very, very calm. There's no tension whatsoever. We also caught up with a resident in Akure yesterday, and this is what he has to say about the security situation in Ondo State generally. Take a listen.
Because if you see what has...
Well, that's the situation. People are getting ready. The issue of security is a very major one in this election. And from what we have reported earlier, the amount of security operatives that have been deployed for this of the senatorial district is massive. And from the experience of the Ondo election, one of the major issues, or one of the major tools the government used for the election that made it largely successful is the deployment of military men for the Ondo election. And the same thing probably will play out in the Ondo election. The city is very calm, and that's the situation here at the moment. Chamberlain.
All right, then could you tell us, are they saying anything about the election materials, the sensitive and non-sensitive materials? Anybody talking about it? INEC, for instance?
All right, you know, Ondo State is a very interesting state in terms of geography. We have some areas which are riverine, just like we had in Edo State. But as we talk now, the information we gather, or what we have from INEC, is that some of the non-sensitive materials are going to be transported around the state. But as we talk now, when it comes to area, is a very, 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 very key issue that the INEC officials are going to be very, very careful with. But, you know, when it's talk about the geography of the state, the riverine area, the Ilaje areas are very, very key in terms of transportation. Reaching those areas are very, very key. And I'm very sure that INEC will be looking into making the transportation of materials into that area as fast and as quick as possible for tomorrow's accreditation and voting process.
Well, so far so good. How would you describe the level of confidence in INEC to be able to conduct free and fair elections? Have you spoken to anybody who's expressed fears on that?
Mark, the situation we have here is that a lot of people are taking some experiences from Edo, and they are saying that if INEC was said to have been able to conduct a free and fair election in Edo, they should be able to play out almost the same thing here in Ondo State. People are not losing confidence. Of course, you know, some parties are making allegations as to some officials working for INEC and their partisanship. But in this particular election, a lot of people are upbeat about the fact that INEC is going to provide a level playing field for everybody in the state. And INEC has said, we heard from Professor Atahiru Jega 2 days ago on the preparation for the election, and at the moment, little skepticism as to if INEC will be able to deliver a free and fair election. Generally, a large percentage of people here in Ondo State believe that the Atahiru Jega-led INEC will be able to do justice in providing free and fair election in these all-important election in Ondo State.
Looking at the security situation, I mean, security agents have put in a host of measures to ensure that, you know, peace and calm is maintained on election day. Has there been any complaint?
Well, so far, so good. Now we've had little complaint. Of course, today is the first day after the broadcasts and promos of political parties over the campaigns are over. But so far, so good. We've not heard anything. This is just the beginning of the first day in preparation, the top preparation for the election. But we've not heard any complaint so far. But what we know and what we can see is that there are a lot of security operatives that have been deployed. Just yesterday, we gathered that men of the Civil Defense Corps have deployed over 800 of their men for this election. That is massive if you look at the magnitude of the people that come to the election in terms of security operatives. But as it is now, a lot of people have been deployed in terms of the security operatives. You know that Ondo State is being bordered by so many states, and in the past few days, there have been allegations that some parties are going to be bringing in thugs, and so these have aided the call for more deployment of troops in the state. Mark.
Yesterday, there were reports that there was something like a curfew in town. How are the people reacting to the curfew? And what's the excitement level, if you can rate it?
The curfew is affecting everybody. When we entered into town yesterday, some of our crew we entered town just a few minutes before the curfew time, which is 6 o'clock. And just before that time, you will see people moving in town hurriedly, just not to be caught up with a few people to it, because very important one. And the reason behind the curfew, of course, curfew all through the night from 6 p.m. in the evening. This is just to reduce movement or to stop movement from the allegations that there are going to be thugs moving in Ondo State, and they believe that if curfew is imposed from 6 p.m., that will stop and curb any kind of illegalism or violence that may take place. But generally, it seems that these people, so far what I've seen, people in Ondo State are very, very peaceful, moving from or up to Ondo, even moving into Akure. Later, we'll be moving into some other parts of the state. I react to the curfew, and this morning people are just moving out slowly. Things are getting up slowly. It shows that people are actually looking forward to it. But one thing that we're all looking out for is that people should come out en masse to vote for their candidate. All these security measures.
What kind of observers do we have? Has INEC concluded those registration of the election observers? Any complaint from anywhere about anything there now?
Close to 2,000 observers may be prepared for this particular election, and a lot of them were being trained yesterday and being told what exactly what to be done in the election. They're going to be set based on the importance on in some areas, those sensitive areas that they've speculated. INEC
Thank you very much indeed, Seun, correspondent Seun Okinbaloye in Akure, and they're all going to be bringing us updates, as a matter of fact, about the forthcoming Ondo State governorship election. So stay with channels for all the updates you'll need.